What's going on to you Virgos out there? So, how y'all doing? So look, there's a link in the comment section below called a Linktree link. Click on it. It will redirect you to a website which has all the ways to be able to financially support the channel. So I can most definitely keep the show going. Shout outs to all you Virgos that have reached out. You know, y'all Virgos are the ones that's out here pushing the line. Aquarius, y'all are pushing the line. And a lot of the other zodiac signs, but shout outs to y'all. Let's continue. You know, I want to go ahead for some odd reason. I don't know if I'm shadow man. I don't know what it is, but I'm pumping out these videos and like that the algorithm ain't responding to it. But you know, anyway, regardless, let's get into it. So for you Virgos, you have the Three of Pentacles, the Two of Swords, and the Nine of Pentacles. Make sure that this video gets at least 1,000 likes, okay? Excuse me, 100 likes, 1,000 videos. I wish it was 1,000 likes, for real, for real. The more likes I get, the better it is. But the Three of Pentacles, the Two of Swords, and the Nine of Pentacles right here. These three cards right here for you, Virgos, right? The Three of Pentacles represents a full table, and it represents not only just the full table, but it represents the plentifulness of how other people are willing to share when their mind and their heart is in the correct place. And the Two of Swords represents a lot of you are unwilling to share with certain people. Straight up, you know, straight up. The Two of Swords is a person that can be guarded. It's a person that wants very much so their own internal peace, and they are trying to block out the world. But there's a caveat with that though, right? Because sometimes the Two of Swords can also represent a person who has a chip on their shoulder. Now, I don't necessarily think that you Virgos have a particular chip on your shoulder, although that is kind of a little bit of a warning for you Virgos not to become so invested in protecting yourself to the point where you end up actually being the villain of the story, because you're actually imposing and disrespecting other people while saying that you're trying to protect yourself. You don't want to be those types of Virgos. What you want to do is you want to essentially remain, like I said, you want to remain a ghost. You want to remain like a Sigma, just be in the shadows, doing your own thing, staying out of the way. You know what I mean? Be under the radar, handling your business. Because that's the impression that I'm really getting from a lot of you Virgos. The Three of Pentacles and the Two of Swords, you have a surplus. You have the ability to share with others, but at the same time, you know, a lot of you Virgos are paying attention to the people that really was around you, that a lot of you will go back and actually reach back out to and show love. See, Virgo is a zodiac sign where, you know, like, see, and this is yet again, people would just project on the Virgos like a mug, but they don't know anything, right? Because like with like Virgos, especially when our minds and our hearts are in the correct place, we will watch at how it is that people will interact with us when we didn't have anything, or we come from the bottom, like what Drake said. And we will literally sit back and pay attention to how others treat us. And we will make a mental note to ourselves that, you know, if us as Virgos ever get to a point in our own endeavors, right, in our habits, where we end up becoming financially successful, rich, or having a surplus that we have the ability to give back, us as Virgos, we will make a mental note of that, and we will really go back and put some money in a person's hand, or repay a person, you know, pass it on. Not because it's anything transactional where the person obligated us or we're in some sort of debt, but because of the fact that we appreciate so much how it is that a person treated us. Because people don't understand, obviously, people aren't Virgos, so people who don't have Virgo in their chart, whether it's a sun, people who don't have Virgo in their chart, and really understand things from a Virgo lens really doesn't understand how difficult it is sometimes, because Virgo is, like I said before, Virgo is the zodiac sign, and I hope YouTube doesn't hit me for this, but Virgo is the zodiac sign of prejudice, in the sense that how people treat us. Not that we particularly do it, although we can do it if our minds and our hearts are not in the correct place. But the whole prejudice thing is really about how other people have that skewed perception really more towards us than anything. So a lot of the times, people treat them in Pisces, people treat us like garbage, right? Chip on their shoulder, like I was just talking about. And us as Virgos will try to examine that. Like, what exactly is going on? Why are these people wilding out like this? And they don't want to say it. They got their feelings hurt from something that we did that we didn't necessarily mean any harm. But again, they're telling us not to take things so personally, while every time you interact with them, they got an issue. They got a serious issue. They got a chip on their shoulder. Every time you see them, it's on. They got some reason to pop off. And whether it's professionally, romantically, and sometimes part of the reason why we can be, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me just continue, because I could apply more pressure, but I'm getting ahead of myself. So you have the Nine of Pentacles, right? And because of the fact that we are now paying attention to the quality and how genuine a person is, whether or not we're gonna pay them back, pay it forward, or give it forward. A lot of us Virgos have surplus in our lives, but we are given surplus or abundance towards other people that we know of who deserve it, who will be pure of heart, who will be truly grateful for it. And those are the only people that we have in mind. So the people that treated us like gold when we wasn't giving them any kind of money, or bringing any value to the table that they could benefit from. They pulled us up out of the gutter, metaphorically speaking. And the Hermit now in the Four of Swords, right? This is why I was saying, let me slow down, because I was getting a little bit ahead of myself, because the Hermit represents, this is part of the reason why we can be hermits, right? Hermit, a person that wants to isolate ourselves, because we getting hell, for lack of a better term, from so many people surrounded by enemies, right? And then you'll have, like, for instance, like, you'll have people who will try to, like, talk about how it is that, Virgos will think that the whole world is against them and stuff like this. And it's like, but when you look at it, though, there is a skewed perspective, because me as a Virgo, even in my own life, the stupid reasons that people have wilded out on me for, they can't account for. I'm talking to somebody, and this person is talking to me about, making videos on their website. And I'm like, okay, cool, right? And this person thought that I was leaving them out. And that's not even really what happened. What happened is that I was trying to test to see if I could get into the algorithm on command, and to refine my video making, content creating skills. But the person didn't even give me a chance in order to do that. They just got upset at me, started and came up with a real stupid reason to block me. The same person now who didn't want to get back on YouTube and talked about how it is that YouTube treating him like trash, or whatever the case may be. Now this person is back on YouTube looking humble as ever. And it's like, this is what I'm talking about, because people got too much of a chip on their shoulder. And the thing about it is that Virgos would be the ones to, y'all would be the ones to keep their mouth shut. Like, you Virgos will keep your mouth shut about it. And then sometimes you Virgos will talk about it. Like, look, this is what actually really happened. This is what really went on. This is what actually happened. And then when you Virgos speak up and talk about what happened, now it looks crazy, because it looks real crazy. Because now you spoke up and talk about it. Now it's like, okay, it makes sense from your perspective. And now other people who are willing to listen to you, right? And be fair about it. Now they're able to see, right? Now they're wink, wink, hint, hint. Now they're able to see who the real perpetrator was, the person who was wilding out. And this is why a lot of times, this is, to kind of go with the reading, why it is that you Virgos want to be by yourselves, be as ghosts. Like I said before, y'all have unofficially joined the ghost nation, in a sense that you know your surroundings now more than ever, right? You've been collecting data. You know your surroundings. You have been trying to get to know people romantically, trying to make friends. I know I have. Trying to make friends. Really putting in an effort. But other people want to flake. People want to play games. Everybody wants to act like they're hot. Everybody want to be the center of attention. Everybody want to go out to these clubs. Everybody want to. So it's like you Virgos are like, okay, let you just go and hang out and just go kick it by yourselves, because people don't be thinking that they have to put in any kind of effort. They think that you are just supposed to reach out to them, and they never put in any kind of effort. They never reach out to you to say, hey, how you doing? None of that stuff. But then be mad at you that they never got it through their heads that maybe they need to be more mindful towards you. It's always, well, you Virgos were the ones who do it. And it's like, but how come you don't initiate? Talking about the other person. How come the other, when you Virgos break it to them, it's like, how come you don't initiate phone calls? If you say that you care about me so much, how is it that you keep trying to flirt with me, and then when I give you a chance, you disappear for 3 weeks? It's like you again, the confusion is there on your part, because what exactly are you doing? At the end of the day, you're not really doing anything to you. They're not doing anything to you, Virgos, because at the end of the day, y'all know what it is. Y'all know who you are. You know where it is that you're going. So it just looks like people just being confused and wasting their own time. And it's this level of stupidity, which is why Virgos just kind of distance themselves and isolate themselves. That's something that Virgo has in common with Pisces and Aquarius and Cancer crabs. The ideology of just staying away from other people, because so much emotion, so much dunceness. Like how could a person be alive and then think that a relationship only goes one way? So this is the stupidity of it. So you never thought that the person would want you to reach out. You only think that things only go one way. You only, they only want the Virgos to come holler at them. They never want to go holler at the Virgos. Never. They never want to do that. And it's this limited thinking that this person is supposed to do this for me. This ideology that somebody owes you something. And it's pure delusion. Pure delusion, because even the context of it is delusion. So the Four of Swords now represents just that, right? Like, that ideology is put to sleep. The Wheel of Fortune and Temperance, a lot of you Virgos have gotten off of the wheel. You've gotten off of one Cycle. What are cycles? Habits. A lot of you Virgos have broken that habit of being loyal and being in a person's corner, wanting to see them win, to now looking after your own interests. And the thing about it is, the temperance represents being patient, learning other people's natures and not taking it personally, but at the same time doing your own brand, you know, doing what it is that you need to do is what I'm trying to say. Even if it means rubbing people the wrong way, you know, because me as a Virgo, even in my own experience, I've said it and I meant it. I said last year that I was going to cut off all the Ray Rays and the Pukishas and the people that create stress in my life, and I have been cutting them off. I let go of Lil Jodeci. I let go of everybody that's causing me stress, trying to have me be a superhero, trying to get me to save them. I'm not in the business of saving anybody. I don't mind being your friend and looking out for you and being there for you and stuff like that, but it's not transactional. Stop coming to, you know what I'm saying? Like, stop approaching my ear and thinking that just because you do not have my anatomy, if you know what I mean, you weren't born with my anatomy, if you catch my drift, that whispering in my ear is going to get me to soften up to you just because. You're going to play that delicate role and that distressed role, and that somehow I'm supposed to jump to the rescue. It's like, no, I'm not doing that anymore. And a lot of them, they live in such a delusional world, they don't really understand that perspective. So they continue to ask, they continue to delude themselves, they continue to just like think that they're freeloading. And then when I'm like, look, I'm done, it's like, well, why? It's like, you lack such self-awareness. That's the reason why. It's literally ironic because it's self-explanatory. You don't bring anything to the table to me. And the thing about it is, you have to say yes to that, because especially for you Virgos that are on game, when you Virgos are on point, you know what really gets them? It's the idea that you Virgos, what really gets people, Virgo, is when your mind and your heart are in the correct place. That's what gets people so bad. Because when you Virgos are more straightforward with your interactions with others, and you're able to communicate better with people, and you have these real conversations with people, and they tell you, they basically put you on the back burner, right? They're like, they got all these they got all these things that they got to do, right? You're just not there at the forefront. And then you go, okay, fine. Then they want your help. They asking you to help, and then you Virgos go, no. They're like confused, and then now it's like, you really want to go there? Yeah, Virgo, let's go there. And then when you Virgos rip it to them, right? When you Virgos, the temperance, being able to communicate well, that's what the temperance also represents. Good communication. When you're able to rip it to them well and show them, like, you remember the conversation that we had? It's like, well, what conversation? What did you tell me in this conversation? You said basically you got all this stuff that you had to do. Basically, I was the back burner. I'm not at the top of the list. You got all this, right? Right. So why are you coming to me now asking me for help, or listening to your sob stories if somebody breaks your heart or whatever? Why are you coming to me? And then now it's they feel bad because they did this once again. They did this to themselves. Remember, Virgos, y'all are sleepers. A lot of y'all are sleepers. And what I mean when I say sleepers, I mean, remember, Virgo, that your superpower is the ability to be understated and the ability to be put in the back burner. Because you get a chance to really see how people ultimately play themselves based upon they don't want to make space for you. I have so many people in my life, have had, not currently, but I have had so many people put me on the back burner. That's the reason why it is not one of the reasons why I was able to check my ego. Other people's egos are out of control, and I'm able to check my ego because I've had so many people put me on the back burner. On the back burner. I'm just never the important person. Okay. But then when they need help, what are you asking me for? What do you mean? Remember such and such, such, such? Right. You can't go to somebody who, out of your own mouth, you don't even want to create time for. Now you're expecting those very same people who you couldn't even squeeze in a little bit of time to come help you. See, this is what all of this, your ego be getting y'all. You not even looking at it. So now the King of Pentacles and the Ace of Pentacles represent. So a lot of you Virgos are really on to bigger and better things. A lot of you Virgos, like I said, you have broken. You Virgo have really broken your bonds. You've broken the chains that a lot of you have had, because Virgo represents zealousness. What is zealousness? Zealousness is being detrimentally loyal to a fault, and that's obligating. So a lot of and that's part of the reason why Virgo is named Virgo in the first place. The price, it's baked into the name. The idea that Virgo is named Virgo, the Virgin, because the word virgin means unmarried. It doesn't necessarily mean that, you've never done the hanky-panky. I mean, although it's associated with that today, in the old meanings, it actually means someone who is not necessarily married or committed to anyone, or an idea, or isn't committed or isn't zealous. So you Virgos were born zealous, and just like Aquarius, this is why Aquarius and Virgo are lower and higher octave, because you Virgos want to belong to a group so bad, especially friends, because you have your family members there, but those are the people who are supposed to be there, right? And nothing wrong about having family members, but you also want to extend your family, Virgo, towards friends and towards relationships. And people, I can't say the H word, but people dislike you. I felt disliked so much in my life that I had to stuff down. I can't tell you how many times it hurt, acid burn and all this other type of stuff, heartburn. Not acid burn, heartburn. You know what I'm talking about. Because the frustration of, I'm not accepted. I'm not accepted. So, and people go out of their way to show me, just like they showed you Virgos, that you're not accepted. They can say whatever it is that they want to. People put their effort where their mouth is. When people believe, when people want to sponsor, when people want to patronize a business, they go there. They throw money at it. They show their support. They come out. They show their support. They put their money on the table. They show their conviction. But a lot of you Virgos have known what it's felt like to not have anybody be that committed to you as you are to them. Self-preservation and all of that, remember? So now that you Virgos are committed, and you're committed and you're loyal to yourselves, now you're on to bigger and better things, because now you Virgos are realizing that you have broken that habit of being zealous, right? Which is baked into the cake of a Virgo, what Virgos are supposed to be breaking up on out of and becoming the virgin, the individual that is unmarried to anybody, being loyal. But if a person starts to this is why I say that Virgos are natural Sigmas, because you're not overly loyal to any group, any idea, any school of thought, anything. Because you're able to be loyal and stuff like this and interact with somebody. This is why you ruled by Mercury, because Mercury is dualistic. It's the idea of you should go against your own friends when your friends start disrespecting you. And what a lot of people, and I'm going to end the reading with this, what a lot of people get you so caught up on is they want you to be loyal to a fault. And a lot of you Virgos, as of right now, you're not. And you're actually doing what it is that you're supposed to be doing. You're supposed to be virgins. You're not supposed to be committed to anybody. You're supposed to pledge allegiance to absolutely no one. And the strength card represents you're showing your strength now, and other people gotta respect it. Whether they like it or not is irrelevant. They gotta respect it. So let's clarify the strength card. Ace of Pentacles, a Ten of Pentacles, the Hierophant, the Tower, and then you have the World card. Amazing. The Ace of Pentacles and the Ten of Pentacles represents, because a lot of you Virgos know what it's like wasting so much of your time already, having this idea that people inherently have worth and value to them, and that you see something in a person or others that, you know, is special and that is worth maintaining relationships for, while at the same time they showed you how much of an animal, I can't even call them an animal, they showed you how, because that's an insult to animals, I can't even call them an animal, because my dog Amy is smarter than some human beings. But real talk, real talk. But they show you how uncivilized and how dysfunctional they are. And a lot of you Virgos are really unwilling, right? This is why you got Ace of Pentacles with the clock on the, the clock, yes, the clock, but the watch on the hand, because time is money. How long are you supposed to be dedicated to a group of people who keep showing you that they're not built to be civilized or decent or upright, or they're not going anywhere, that they're going to be stuck exactly where they are or get worse? And the Hierophant and the Tower represent you Virgos understand yourselves very much so well. And a lot of you Virgos do things with purpose. And you don't care if other people don't see you as having any kind of purpose or not doing something. You Virgos don't care if a person doesn't understand what your purpose is and considers you weird. You know why you do what you do. And the World, now to end it off, represents you're safeguarding yourself. You're taking care of yourself. This is an excellent way to end the reading, because the World card is, it spells good luck. It spells rebirth. It spells a lot of good things coming your way. This is what I mean when I say that Virgo's superpower is the ability to allow people to tell you or show you just how much they don't rock with you, and let them paint themselves into their own corner, because they're so caught up with needing to, I'm gonna go ahead and say it, what I'm about to say gonna hurt. They're so caught up with breaking your heart and trying to get you to feel rejected, they don't understand how much they play themselves.